Sports fans, what a weekend of playoff hockey we've been treated to. The atmosphere, the intensity, the raw emotion that only postseason competition can deliver, it's absolutely magical. I've been glued to my screen watching these series unfold, witnessing the incredible skill and determination these athletes display when everything's on the line. There's something uniquely special about playoff hockey that sets it apart from any other sporting event. The speed, the physicality, the momentum swings that can happen in the blink of an eye. Before we jump into today's headline story, I just want to thank each and every one of you for making this channel your destination for hockey coverage. Your support means the world to us. If you're enjoying our playoff analysis, please hit that like button and let's dive into the brewing controversy between two bitter Ontario rivals. The Battle of Ontario has officially erupted into a war of words following the Toronto Maple Leafs' commanding 6-2 victory over the Ottawa Senators in Game 1 of their playoff series. In what was an undeniably physical contest that saw 52 penalty minutes assessed between the two provincial rivals, Maple Leafs captain Austin Matthews has emphatically rejected Senators head coach Travis Green's post-game allegations of embellishment. The explosive confrontation has added even more fuel to an already intense rivalry that promises to deliver one of the most compelling first-round matchups of this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. We were holding onto pucks. They were making decisions, based on what they thought were penalties, Matthews stated firmly during Monday's practice media availability, directly addressing Green's accusations. We're playing hockey. To answer your question, I don't think so. I don't think we were doing anything special to draw penalties. The captain's defensive stance came in response to Green's thinly veiled criticism that Toronto did a good job selling calls to secure a lopsided advantage in power play opportunities. The Maple Leafs capitalized on those chances with ruthless efficiency, converting 3 times with the man advantage in what ultimately proved to be the decisive factor in their Game 1 triumph. The controversy has emerged as the central narrative, following a contest that Maple Leafs center John Tavares aptly described as intense in his post-game comments. There's a reason they call it the Battle of Ontario, Tavares added, underscoring the historic animosity between these franchises that has once again bubbled to the surface in playoff competition. Matthews, for his part, backed up his words with actions in the series opener, delivering a dominant 2 primary assist performance while leading Toronto with 4 hits, directly challenging the notion that the Maple Leafs were somehow manufacturing penalties rather than forcing Ottawa into legitimate infractions through aggressive, possession-oriented hockey. A pivotal moment in the escalating tension occurred during the second period when Senators forward Ridley Gregg cross-checked Tavares in a sequence that initially resulted in a 5-minute major penalty. Upon video review, officials reduced the call to a 2-minute minor, a decision that has generated significant discussion throughout Toronto hockey circles. The play has drawn immediate comparisons to Morgan Rielly's infamous cross-check on Gregg last February, which resulted in a 5-game suspension for the Maple Leafs defenseman. The apparent inconsistency in punishment has not gone unnoticed by Toronto players and fans alike, with many questioning whether supplemental discipline should be forthcoming for what appeared to be a similarly dangerous play. Maple Leafs forward Matthew Knies didn't hesitate to express his surprise at the officials' decision to downgrade Gregg's penalty. I thought it was right to the head, Knies remarked during Monday's media session. You have to trust they made the right call. But yeah, I think I saw it a little bit differently. His comments reflect a broader frustration within the Toronto locker room regarding what they perceive as inconsistent application of player safety standards. Knies further emphasized that the team plans to make life difficult for Gregg throughout the remainder of the series. It's definitely irritating. We're going to demand a lot from him and not make it easy on him the rest of the way. This targeted approach to containing Gregg, who scored one of Ottawa's 2 goals Sunday night, signals Toronto's commitment to matching Ottawa's physical intensity while maintaining their disciplined offensive structure. The game's combative nature extended well beyond the Gregg incident, with numerous confrontations and after-whistle scrums characterizing a contest that grew increasingly heated as Ottawa fell further behind. Green's post-game embellishment accusations appear to be a strategic attempt to influence officiating ahead of Game 2, a common playoff tactic employed by coaches looking to gain any possible advantage in a series. By publicly challenging the legitimacy of Toronto's power play opportunities, the Senators' head coach is clearly attempting to plant seeds of doubt in officials' minds before Tuesday night's crucial rematch at Scotiabank Arena. For Toronto, AUE franchise frequently criticized for lacking sufficient physicality and competitive edge in past playoff disappointments. Sunday's performance represented a significant statement. Beyond the scoreboard, the Maple Leafs demonstrated their willingness to engage in the heightened physical battles that characterize postseason hockey, while maintaining the offensive discipline that makes them one of the league's most dangerous teams. Matthews' leadership was particularly evident, as the superstar center complemented his offensive contributions with a physical presence that set the tone for his teammates. "We came in with full force and showed that we're not a team that's going to get pushed around in the playoffs," noted Knees, articulating the collective mindset that Toronto displayed throughout the convincing victory. As the series progresses, toward Tuesday night's Game 2, both organizations find themselves at a fascinating tactical crossroads. Ottawa must find ways to maintain their physical identity without crossing the line into undisciplined play that results in parade to the penalty box. Toronto, meanwhile, will look to build on their impressive opening statement while preparing for an inevitable pushback from a Senators team desperate to avoid a 2-0 series deficit before returning to home ice. The emotional intensity will undoubtedly increase as these provincial rivals continue their playoff battle, with Matthews and his teammates clearly signaling their readiness for whatever physical challenges await in the contests ahead. Hockey fans, I'm absolutely pumped to see how this series develops. What's your take on Travis Green's accusations that the Leafs were embellishing to draw penalties? Did you see anything in Game 1 that supported his claims? Or do you think this is just classic playoff mind games from a coach trying to change the officiating narrative? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm particularly interested in whether you think the inconsistency between how Gregg's cross-check was handled, compared to Riley's similar incident earlier in the season, is something the league should address.